Hi, it's been a while.
Oh, is that my Indy? It really has been a long time. I was worried, darling. You haven't messaged me in almost half a year. How are you? Are you eating properly? Is work going all right?
Yeah, it's not too bad, I guess. I'm still only in my second year at the company, so there's always new stuff to remember. That's why I've been too busy to message you.
Really? That sounds tough. Be careful you don't overwork yourself. I don't want you getting sick, sweetie. Are you okay for money? What about rice and vegetables? Do you have enough? I can send you some money or food parcels if you like. Just say the word and it's done. I can't afford to give you lots, but I'll send whatever I can.
Nah, I'm fine. I have a job and make my own money now. Besides, I can buy my own rice and vegetables. You don't have to go out of your way to send me anything. I'm fine on my own. I don't really eat much of that sort of these things anyway.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm really happy to hear you're doing well, honey. But if you ever do need anything, you will tell me, won't you? I'd really like it if you just showed your face at the house sometimes, too. Even if it's just for Christmas and birthdays. I miss you, you know.
Listen, Mom, I have something more important to talk about. Do you mind if we change the subject?
Oh, of course. Look at me getting all overexcited not letting you get a word in edgeways. Of course, honey. Go ahead. What is it?
Well, it's like this. I'm getting married.
What? Married?
Yeah, to my boyfriend. We met at a work party. That was a year ago, though. We've been dating ever since. I never told you about him.
Wow, Indy, I can't believe it. I'm so happy for you. I can't tell you how much this means to me. I'll admit I'm a little surprised, but let me assure you, I'll be celebrating for you tonight with a glass of red.
The wedding's planned for 6 months from now, but the thing is, I don't want you to come.
What?
My fiancé is the son of a very rich man who runs a major company. He's intelligent, has a great personality, is good at his job. He's just amazing. I couldn't ask for more. His parents, too. They're kind, always look smart and well-dressed, are stinking rich, and are just all-around wonderful people. I'd be so ashamed to admit to such a decent, respectable people that I was raised in a single-mother household. To tell you the truth, just the thought of them finding out makes me feel sick. That's why I told them I have no parents, and don't know a single one of my relatives.
Indy, why are you saying these things? Why would you do that? Oh my god.
I've always hated you. You're scruffy and unkempt. You have no fashion sense. You slave away at your minimum wage job to bring home what amounts to nothing more than pocket change. I hated that cheap, shabby old house we lived in, too. I could never bring friends over because I felt so embarrassed. I hated it all.
What?
I had to endure so much, and the moment I tried to complain, I was told that it just couldn't be helped because we were poor. My clothes and school supplies were always either secondhand or handouts from people in the neighborhood. Throughout my whole childhood, I don't remember ever being bought anything that was actually new. You never came to sports days or parent evenings because you always had to put so many hours in that crappy job of yours. I was so lonely. I felt absolutely pathetic.
It's true, I was always busy with work, and you did have to endure things most other children didn't. Which meant I didn't always have the time to give you the attention you deserved, and I understand that must have made you feel very isolated and lonely. I accept everything you say. I'm so sorry, Indy, truly I am. But all of it, everything I did was so that one day I could afford to send you to a good college. I did it all with your future in mind. I did it because I wanted you to lead a happy, fulfilling life.
I never asked you to do any of that for me. This is just patronizing. You put me through all that and then have the nerve to act like you were doing me a favor?
Indy.
I guess I am grateful that you sent me to a good college. It did mean I was deprived of a normal childhood, though. I'd either be stuck in my room studying or out working part-time while all my friends were out having fun and meeting people. Without going to college, I wouldn't have landed my current job or met my fiancé. I guess all things considered, on balance, I am willing to call it even. That means there's no ill will, but no positive sentiment either, a flat zero. I guess that makes us more or less strangers. I think it's time for me to cut you out of my life.
Cut me out of your life? Why?
I'm gonna be the wife of the CEO of a major company before long. That means I'm moving up in the world. You, on the other hand, are still broke, still working that crappy job, still in that decrepit old house. How can I let people know you're my mom? It's embarrassing. Me and you are a mismatch. Socially, financially, we just don't mesh. You get me? That's why I'm cutting you out of my life. Never attempt to contact me again. This is my chance to finally be happy and live the life I always dreamed of. Don't you dare get in my way.
I see. If that's what you want, Indy, then there's nothing I can say. It's your life and you should live it as you see fit. But please, just remember that I'm about to tell you. Your mother will always love you, and I wish for you nothing but happiness.
Who are you? I don't have a mom. Hey. How's it going? It's Indy.
Indy, it's been forever. It must have been, what, 2 years by now? How have you been? How's the married life? Are you happy?
Yeah, I'm doing okay, thanks. Listen, there's something I want to let you know, or rather ask of you.
Oh, of course. There's something I want to let you know too, Indy. I'm getting remarried.
Huh?
You see, I felt like a weight had been lifted from my shoulders after you went off to live your life. I suddenly felt filled with energy. So I committed to building a new life for myself. I started going to a local ballroom dance club in the neighborhood last year. I've been toying with the idea of giving it a try since forever, but I was so busy with work I never really got the chance.
You? Ballroom dancing?
I know, right? I had my doubts about it working out at my age, too. But when I plucked up the courage and actually went, I had a whale of a time. I made lots of friends there, too. Now we all go out for drinks regularly. Anyway, me and one of my dance partners started getting along really well. We realized we had the same interests, similar personalities. His name's Donald Silverstein. His wife passed away 3 years ago, and all of his children have flown the nest and have their own lives to lead now. So he currently lives on his own. After we hit it off at the dance club, he invited me out to dinner. Then we got together, and after we dated for a while, he got down on one knee, popped the question, and asked if I'd do him the honor of spending the rest of my life with him. Isn't it just amazing? That's why, from next year onward, I'll be called Louise Silverstein.
Just hold on a sec. Does Donald by any chance have a really, really big house? Or should I say a mansion? 3 floors, acres of garden complete with tennis courts and fountains? Huge, grand, and magnificent?
Huh? How did you know? You're right, though. That's my Donald you're talking about. I actually went to his house for the first time recently after he proposed to me. It really is as amazing as you say. I almost fainted when I saw the gold-encrusted chandeliers. Luckily, his butler noticed I looked woozy and offered me a seat.
His daughter was one of my classmates. Abigail Silverstein was her name. She tried to keep it on the down low, but everyone knew her dad was filthy rich. Word around school was he was a billionaire.
If I had to guess, I'd say it's probably true. But I'm not marrying Donald for his money. It was his kindness and loyalty that I fell for. Neither of us are exactly spring chickens anymore, and we decided not to go into the trouble of having a wedding. But Donald will be holding a big dinner at his place. All of his kids will be there, so I get to meet everyone while we all celebrate the occasion with some food and drinks.
Really? Actually, this is perfect. Make sure you send me, my husband, and his parents an invite to the dinner, okay?
What? Why?
Well, the thing is, my husband found out about you. He found out I was lying about not having any parents. He also knows I was raised by a single mother and that I broke off contact with you. Him and his parents were furious when they found out. How could you be so cruel to your poor mother after she worked so hard to send you to college? You disgust me, to quote my husband.
Really? I see.
Now, him and his parents are giving me the cold shoulder. And the image of the perfect bride I worked so hard to cultivate was smashed to pieces in an instant. Nothing's been the same since. He says he doesn't even know whether he wants to carry on. Divorce was mentioned. That's why I want me and you to build some bridges. Actually, that's why I messaged you today.
Build some bridges? By that, I take it you mean you want to reconcile and have me back in your life.
Yeah, that's it. Let's do that. I need my husband and his parents to see that me and you patch things up and have a normal relationship. They have to know you forgave me too. That part's important. I think I can make them see that. They'll stop thinking about divorce. Besides, if you're married now, I'm not so embarrassed about introducing you anyway. Especially now you bagged yourself a billionaire. If anything, I'm actually excited. You're gonna score me some major points by having a husband that rich. Plus, I think me being related to someone like Donald can only be a good thing. Now that I think about it, the merits are endless. So what do you think? You'll invite us, won't you? Pretty please, with a cherry on top? Think of it as helping your daughter out.
Oh, Indy, you see, the thing is, you're not my problem anymore.
Huh? What does that mean?
It means no. Why should I let you use my wedding dinner to get you out of being divorced? Me and Donald aren't your own personal tools to be used and manipulated as you see fit. You're an adult now. You have a job. You're married. You're well past the age where I fix your problems for you. You got yourself into this mess, so how about you get yourself out of it? How about you get yourself out of it? You can't go relying on your mommy forever.
No, wait, please! Why not?
What do you mean, why not? Because you reap what you sow, Indy. Liars always get found out. I mean, seriously, what did you expect to happen when you told your husband and his family you were an orphan? This was inevitable. And isn't it just a tad selfish of you to expect me to come crawling back to you the moment it suits you? After you cut me out of your life to present some phony, made-up image of yourself to your new family. I'd be embarrassed to introduce a daughter as shallow as you to my Donald.
Oh my god! If you don't invite us, he might divorce me. All you have to do is let us show our faces for a few minutes. We'll leave after you meet him and his parents, I swear. Didn't you say you wish for nothing but happiness for me?
It's true, I certainly did say that, and it's still true. But it's ultimately just that, a wish. I never once said I'd have anything to do with you again. Happiness is something you have to obtain on your own.
Oh my god, come on, I'm begging you here. Do you have any idea how much trouble I'll be in if he divorces me? How hard I worked to get to where I am today? I finally managed to marry into money after all these years. This can't be how it ends. It can't! Mom, please, I'm begging you.
Who are you again? I'm terribly sorry, but I forgot.
What are you talking about, Mom? We were talking normally until just now. Mom!
Mom? Oh, that's strange. I don't have a daughter. She showed no sign of giving up, so I had no choice but to block her in the end. I sold the house to move in with Donald, and with that, the cutting of ties was complete. After that, I got a message from Indy's husband. It said, "Please forgive me and my family for our rudeness. We would have contacted you immediately had we known about you. I thought it was a nice apology. Indy's relationship fell apart over the whole lying about being an orphan thing. Eventually, just as she feared, her husband divorced her. He kicked her out in the streets, and she had no choice but to move into the cheap old apartment she stayed back in college. Her standard of living was suddenly in the gutter, and with her life crashing and burning before her eyes, she was forced into long hours of overtime to keep up with the rent and student loan repayments. I also apologized to her ex-husband for the stress and inconvenience my daughter had caused him and his family. Since then, I haven't had contact with Indy, or anyone involved with later. A year later, me and Donald tied the knot. He and his kids are just darlings who are so very kind to me. I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life, and I'm filled with optimism for the future.
Leslie, today I'm going to take the day off work, okay? What? Can you make sure to have any of the work I was supposed to be tasked with today and hand it out evenly among the rest of the team to have done for me? Amber, do you have a second? What's wrong? You and I both talked before about how the last time you took a day off, you used up the rest of your time off, right? That means this time you will not be paid for taking the day off, as you no longer have the PTO for it. Huh? This time will be considered an absence from work, and you won't be paid any money for this day if you take it off. What? Isn't that a little rude of you, though? The company is the one to decide how many PTO days you get in a year, and if you use more than that, then you will no longer receive 8 hours of pay for that day, and will be considered just an absence from work. This is the same rule that applies to everyone in this company, so it's not just you. Really? Are you sure this isn't just about you being jealous of a cute little 19-year-old girl like me? Excuse me? Why are you bringing something like that up now of all times? Well, look at yourself. You happen to be 40 years old and still single, right? That's true, but what does that have to do with your situation? I get that you've been trying to hide your private life from everyone else at work, but you have so much going on with you that it's far too easy for me to see the truth. Wait. I'm not trying to hide anything about myself from anyone, though. I also happen to have a fiancé now. Seriously? That has to be one big lie, right? There's no way a 40-year-old single woman like you could have found yourself a man that would actually be willing to marry someone like you still. You can stop it with all the lies about yourself, all right? Amber? This conversation is getting off topic now. Let's get back on topic, okay? Now, to repeat what I've said earlier, you have used up all your PTO, and that means today, if you do plan to take the day off, you will not be getting paid an 8-hour salary. That is all. All right. I have to take the day off today, so no matter what, I'll let you off the hook with that. This isn't about you letting me off the hook, or not about something that has little to do with me. I do not have the time to continue talking with a hysteric grandma all day, so I'm out of here. Leslie? Hello? This is the 19-year-old super cute new hire here. Good evening, Amber. It's a little past 8 now, so we're not in the office anymore. Is this something you can talk to me about tomorrow? Hey now, are you still upset about earlier? I get that you might have some hurt feelings about what I said, but you're way too old to be holding on to the past now, right, Grandma? Amber, what is it you want? Huh? Are you just here to make yourself seem all cute and stuff in front of me? Or are you trying to act as though you're better than me? Well, if either of those are the case, then it's a waste of time for the both of us, and you're better off refraining yourself from doing it anymore. What? Well, whatever. I don't have time to sit here and listen to an old woman and her awful attitude anyway, so I'll tell you what's going on here. Listen. This weekend, I'm going to be having my wedding. I'm inviting people like you, Leslie, and the rest of the people in the department to come along and watch. So, please come. This weekend, you said? That's pretty soon. I didn't have any other choice this time. I happen to have something major happen to me, and that's why I need to get married now. Wait, are you talking about that? I want to have this wedding before my belly gets too big, so that's why it's going to happen this weekend. That's the whole reason I've been having to take a lot of time off work. I see. So the reason you've been out of work at least once a week for the last month or two has been for that reason? And this coming Sunday, I'll be having the wedding at a really fancy restaurant. That's in 2 days, right? This is meant to be a surprise for you. A surprise! Well, I'm sure that seeing a cute and young bride all happy on her wedding will be difficult for a single 40-year-old grandma, but... well, I just wanted to share some of my happiness with you on the day, huh? Amber? Your full name happens to be Amber Curtis, right? That's right. But, of course, once I marry my man, I'll become Amber Bourne. In other words, your soon-to-be husband's last name is Bourne? That's right. I see. Mr. Bourne. And I'm going to become Amber Bourne. I really want people to start calling me that soon, so I want to get this show on the road. I'm sure you'll never have any idea what I'm talking about when I say it's going to be so amazing having my last name changed with marriage. But I hope this wedding will give you just a small taste of that experience. I'm going to make sure to rub all my happiness in your wrinkly old face, so make sure you're there. But I don't want you going after any of the men at this wedding, all right? None of them are going to want some 40-year-old single grandma, so leave them alone. I'm going to have to introduce myself to the groom, I think. What? I just told you to not try reeling in any men, all right? I'm not the type of woman that likes to steal other people's partners, so don't worry about that, please. Huh? My sister and her kids are going to be arriving at my house any time now to hang out. So I'll see you later. As for the time and place of the wedding, I'll have all that information sent into the office group chat. So make sure to read all of that later, please. Leslie? Were you able to make it to the restaurant yet? I know that today is going to be very tough for you, having to watch a youthful and cute 19-year-old get married right before your eyes. But do your best to swallow those tears and watch this wedding to the very end, okay? Good morning, Amber. Are you in the changing room right now? Yep. I just finished having my wedding dress and everything put on. And as for your soon-to-be husband, Mr. Bourne, he's at the restaurant as well, right? Of course he is. He told me he just got finished changing into his tuxedo. Is that so? All right, then. I would like to go see him before the wedding gets started. Would that be all right with you? Huh? Why do you want to see him so badly? Wait, are you literally going to try and take my groom from me today? The groom's full name is Max Bourne, right? Actually, through my sister, I may happen to know the groom. And, well, it's very important that I go and introduce myself to him today, so I'd like to be able to go to his changing room and see him. I suppose there are times like this after all. Well, it's not like he's going to fall for some old hag trying to flirt with him anyway. As long as you make it quick, I'll allow you to go and see him. Well, as long as you're all right with it, I'll make my way over to go and see him right now. I'll go over to his changing room as well now. Leslie, what the hell is this? Why is Max on his hands and knees apologizing to you? What the hell happened between you two? Amber? Have you still not realized anything yet? What are you talking about? Have you not taken a look at what my last name is? You're Leslie Pines, right? Wait. You're related to Ashley Pines? She happens to be my little sister, actually. What? Ashley and I happen to be separated by many years, so most people would never think that the two of us are sisters. But after hearing from me that she's my sister and that we both share the same last name, you can understand things a little bit more clearly, right? Are you still going to question why your fiancé, Max Bourne, is on his hands and knees apologizing to me? Amber, this goes for you as well. You have something you need to tell Ashley right away, right? I'm sorry that I went and stole your husband from you. What is this? If you knew something was going on here, then why didn't you tell me about this a lot sooner? Why did you wait to tell me all of this until the day of my wedding? Because this would be the best chance for my sister and I to catch Max and handle him without him getting away from us. Huh? Your best chance to catch Max? When my sister started to go on about a divorce and all that, I was overseas and not in the States to help her deal with things. And I never even knew about most of this going on until after things between her and Max had been dealt with. Of course, I didn't get to hear about everything from Ashley about what had happened. And when Ashley did explain certain things to me, she never told me the name of the woman that had stolen her husband from her. So this whole time, I never knew who it could have been. But when I did learn about who it was, or at least was made aware of it, it was when you told me to come to your wedding today, 2 days ago. At the time you had told me that, I stated that my sister was coming over, and when she arrived, I told her about you and your wedding. And that's when I learned who you were. But even if that is the case, Ashley and Max are both divorced now, and he's paid her the settlement she asked for. You both should be totally fine leaving us alone and letting us enjoy our lives. Why the hell are you making him apologize even more? To you, Amber, you may think things are finished with a simple apology and a settlement like that being paid. But you are aware that Ashley and Max had 2 kids together, right? And so what? Right now, Max should be paying Ashley $700 a month for child support so that she can care for the 2 kids. And he has the responsibility to continue paying that $700 a month to her until the kids are both adults. He has to pay her $700 every month? But here's the problem. Within the first 3 months of the divorce and her getting their kids, he moved out of his place unannounced and changed his phone number. And then he just disappeared and ran away from Ashley. It's been half a year now, and he has not paid any of the child support to her within that time. So over time, we've been searching for him so that we could force him to do his job as the father of his 2 kids. And as we were starting to lose hope in finding him, we came across you, Amber. Are you kidding me? I guess this is what everyone means when they say we live in a small world, right? Are you freaking kidding me? Well, you should really enjoy this wedding you've worked so hard on having with your fiancé. My sister and I know where Max is now, and we're not leaving until his parents arrive here to help us handle him. Wait, he told me his parents disowned him a while ago. Well, they are pissed to have heard about him never paying the child support for his kids. They are going to continue to keep ties cut with him, but to get him to take responsibility for the child support and never have a way of running off, they're having him move into a new line of work. Some construction company his second uncle owns that's out in the middle of the mountains right now doing a 10-year-long job. A construction company out in the middle of nowhere? I'm not sure what all the details are on the company, but from what his parents have told me, it's a place that most ex-prisoners go to work, as the place is like a prison and reminds them of home in a way. Huh? What the hell? I think it's a great place for people to learn their duties as an adult and work them back into proper members of society, if they wish to leave, of course. So, with that, when this wedding is over with, his parents and his second uncle will be hauling him off to that new company so he can start his job. Huh? Hold on a second. He and I just handed in our marriage papers this morning before the wedding, and we are already legally a married couple. You're telling me he's going to have to move into the mountains now without me? Well, some married couples happen to live like that for a while, right? But we wanted to be together forever, and that's why we've gotten married. Also, it's not just him that has lost ties to his parents, but me as well. That's why the two of us really wanted to be together. It's all because of you, you old hag, that we're going to lose this happiness we've had. You're the freak that thought it was okay to steal someone else's husband and ruin their happiness all so that you could have a husband of your own. Because of you and your BS, you took my sister's husband away from her and left her with a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old that she has to raise all by herself. It's because of you that those 2 kids no longer have a father. Just because you're young doesn't mean you get a free pass to do whatever you want. At least I'm not the forever alone grandma. I'm getting married next year. Huh? And also, the fact that you keep calling me an old hag and a grandma might be hurtful to some. But I actually like being called that because a lot of people who are actual grandmas are very nice people. They happen to take really good care of their family and their friends, just like I'm doing now. In my case, I'm caring for my single little sister and her 2 kids. And I'm here to protect them from someone like their husband and father, who left the 3 of them with nothing, trying to get away with no damage to himself. And from someone like you who caused all of this to happen in the first place to them, ruining the family they had. I will never forgive you for any of it, Amber. If you really want to be with Max and live a loving and happy life together, then go right ahead. Now I'm going to go back outside and wait for the 2 of you to finish that wedding you've been wanting to rub in my face this whole time. But just know that I'm not sure who will all show up for it today, and what'll happen when they come. It became time for the wedding after I'd been finished talking with Amber. In reality, there was supposed to be around 30 people coming to see the wedding, but a large amount of those people ended up saying no to the invitation. In reality, only a few people dropped by to see it. And I totally understand why most didn't come anyway, as Amber only sent out her invitations to everyone 2 days before her wedding date. Because nobody had really showed up, Amber and Max, both dressed up for the wedding, got on stage and started to shout at one another about what was going to happen. In the end, they got into a really bad fight and started to damage a lot of the things inside the restaurant. And this led to the both of them having to pay off thousands in fees to the place. And on top of those fees, Max would also be asked to pay for the past 6 months' worth of child support. After the wedding had been finished and Max was sent off to work, Amber had her baby and was then forced to go to work for that company as well. She's working in a different shift than her husband, and with the help of her higher up there, she's being worked so hard that every day she forms at least 10 new calluses on her hands. And all of this in order for those 2 to pay off everything they owe and more. When it comes to myself, being the old grandma that I happen to be to Amber, I've defied all odds and am going to be having my wedding in the next couple of months here. And what she doesn't know is that my fiancé happens to be 10 years younger than me. But in his eyes, he doesn't really care about my age, as he finds mature women a lot more decent than young women like Amber. I'll make sure to send her an invitation soon to the location she's working, and maybe she'll have enough cell service out there to give me a call congratulating me. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story.